Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. So, I recently watched a couple of videos that had me thinking about my blind spots when it comes to reading and processing things, and also thinking about the content and stuff that I'm creating here. So, one of the videos was by Swift Busboy Maneuvers, and he was talking about the way that he engages with the text that he reads and how he gets deeper into it and then can remember it more and process it better and stuff. And one of the things he does after, annotating it and then going back and checking all his notes and kind of refamiliarizing himself with the things he liked the best about the book that he was reading, is putting all that together and writing extensive reviews. And I have not been doing that a lot. I have a lot of thoughts. Sometimes I rank the stuff on different sites and stuff, but I never thought to do full reviews because I've started doing this as a medium instead, and I've always had book journals. So I do want to kind of experiment with that and see if that helps a bit. And then the other video that kind of had me thinking, I was watching a few of Allison's videos at Allison Talks Books, and there was a commenter who said that, and I kept looking before I filmed this video to find that comment again, but she has a lot of comments and followers and stuff, so I couldn't find that exact message that I was looking for. But it was about somebody who went to school for librarian, and they were talking about the assignments that they had, how each week they had to pick a different, they were given a different genre, and they had to choose a book from a curated list, and then write a essay about it, so that they were thinking about it deeply, engaging with genres that they might not feel usually drawn to, just so that they can understand why other people might be drawn to them and stuff. And so thinking about those things, I was trying to figure out where not only am I lacking in writing reviews, but in engaging with some genres more than others. And I had recently filmed, I didn't post it yet, but my year anniversary video, and in it I was talking about some of the things that I would like to do more, or start doing with this channel and stuff, and I came up with this idea that will kind of also solve the spot of where I'm lacking in reading different genres as well. So I don't read a lot. I've only just started getting into horror, so I've read like classical horror with like Dracula and Frankenstein and stuff, and then I just started reading contemporary horror, but I have no familiarity with anything in between. So that is a blind spot for me. I do enjoy sci-fi, but I have not read much at all, and I wouldn't even know where to start really with classic sci-fi. And another one that I haven't really delved a lot into is speculative fiction. And I used to also, when I first started reading a lot, I started with reading thrillers and stuff, but I haven't read that many over the last several years. Every once in a while I'll pick up one and I'll actually really enjoy it, but I don't actively seek it out like I used to, and so I know that there's a lot in those genres and stuff that I'm missing. So what I did and what I plan to do for the remainder of the year. I picked those 4 of the blind spots that I have in my genre reading, as well as 2 different books. And what I want to do is each month focus on reading one of the assigned books, writing a full essay about it where I can then pick apart what I want from the essay and craft an actual deep review for the content. And I want to do this with books that I'm not familiar with genres I'm not familiar with, just to try to dip my toes in it and see, because I feel like I am coming in from a good starting point with very little known about it. So I don't feel like I'm bringing a lot of baggage in as I'm trying to get this review and rating process going. And then once I have all that, do one long video of just that book where I talk about my thoughts on it, the deep analysis and everything, review it with spoilers. So I am going to do it that way. But I also wanted to see if anyone would want to participate, at least in a read-along. You don't have to do all the extra content, but if I list each month what book I'm going to read, if anyone wants to read it with me, that way when I'm printing or posting the videos with the review and the spoilers, they won't be spoilers to you because you'll have read it. So to get started, I'm capping it off with a children's book that I haven't read yet, that's been on my TBR forever. That will be the first kind of test drive so that I can see how deeply I can get into a children's book with all this stuff. It will be a nice challenge for me. And then I'm going to end the year in December with rereading a book. And so I already have those 2 chosen. The other ones I kind of have 2 or 3 options. And so what I'm going to do is tell you about some of the ideas. And I would really like to hear, especially if you're planning or would like to follow along on the reading journey each month, or even if you just want to pick specific months where it's a genre that you're interested in, if you have any preference to what book. Because as far as the ones that I'm not familiar with much, I don't really have a preference, just because I don't know where to start, so I just picked a few things. So first of all, for the children's or young adult book, it's Watership Down by Richard Adams. So I will be reading this one for sure in July, so if anyone wants to do a reread, or if they haven't read it yet, I would be happy to have you join me. Maybe we can email each other with our progress and stuff like that. That was fun when I did a buddy read that way. Another one for August, I'm choosing to do a classic sci-fi. I actually have not posted, I have not filmed, I have to, I have a special event that I'm planning in August that I also hope that you join me with, so that announcement will be a little bit later this month. So I kind of wanted to keep it completely apart from that for my choices in August from what I want that event to be. So for classic sci-fi, it's not going to interfere with anything else that I'll be reading, even for Historathon. So you can thank Angelina for the first 2 of these choices. Roadside Picnic by the Strugotskys, Earth Abides by George R. Stewart, or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. They're all completely different styles of sci-fi. The last one I know is humorous and stuff, and I'm not sure if it's going to be my humor or not. We'll see if that's the choice, but all of these are already on my TBR. I'm not adding anything to it. I really don't know a whole lot about Roadside Picnic, except that it's supposed to be quite a trip. And Earth Abides is more like, as far as I understand, more meditative and deeper as far as those three choices. So if there's a preference, or if you've read either of those and can kind of sway me one way or another, I would like to know. I do want to post my list of all my choices at the end of this month, so that you, if you want to follow along, will have an idea well in advance of what to expect for the rest of the year. For September, it's speculative fiction. So I do have a couple of options for this one. One of them I have with me, Paradox Hotel by Rob Hart. And this is a time travel murder mystery. And they go to this hotel, basically like a resort, where then you can hop into whatever time you want to go to. Someone ends up dead. It's really hard when the murder is happening right under your nose, but also with time traveling, it's also almost like invisible suspect. So what's interesting, according to the synopsis of this, is that the only one who can help solve this crime, because she works at the hotel and she's, you know, familiar with all the time traveling and stuff, because she time travels so much and does all this stuff, she's kind of unstuck in time and slowly losing her mind. So then it makes me wonder, which I obviously haven't read it yet, did the murder even happen, or is she going crazy? So that one sounded interesting to me, as well as a new book that's releasing called Sublimation, and that's by Isabel J. Kim. And this one will be about a world in which it deals with immigration, where once you cross a border, the one version of you stays behind, and then a new version is created. So kind of, if you think of alternate universes and stuff with all the what ifs, like what if you had made different choices type of thing. So you kind of split, and now you're living two separate lives. Some of these people never want to communicate with their past selves, and then some of them continuously keep track of each other and communicate and stuff. It all kind of gets explored as the main character, who is from Korea, their parent dies, and she has to go home and say goodbye, grieve, all that stuff, and then has to come face to face with who she left behind, the parts of her that she did, the person that she became there. That sounds absolutely right within my wheelhouse of things that I'll enjoy. So if you prefer either of those, please let me know, because I really don't know which one I'm going to choose for this. I'll be reading them both eventually, but for this specific endeavor, I need to just pick one. October will be horror, and so I've not read any Stephen King outside of the Shawshank Redemption novella, so I didn't want to choose anything that would be something I've already seen a movie version of. I wanted to have my first experience truly with Stephen King be something that I'm absolutely unfamiliar with. So my choice for that is The Stand. I might be wrong on the choice. It might not be the place to start, but that's my choice for that. Otherwise, Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. It's something I've always wanted to read and I have not read yet. I am familiar with that story with the movie version, but I know that the books always go into so much more detail. So I'm actually okay knowing a little bit going in for this one. And then the other option is Something Wicked This Way Comes, just because I enjoyed Fahrenheit 451, but I have not read anything else by Ray Bradbury, and I know that I want to. So one of those three, if there is a clear winner, please let me know what to choose. And then for thriller in November, I wanted to go with a classic just to kind of get me back into it again. And so I chose Strangers on a Train by Patricia Highsmith. So that will be, I don't need your help with that one. I know I'm going to read that one. And then in December, Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck is going to be a reread for me. I want to explore, I haven't read it since high school, and I want to explore a reread by delving deeper and actually properly. I actually did write an essay because I read it for a school class by choice. So I would like to see, just since I'm completely different since then, how my engagement with that book will be. So that's how I want to end the year. Anyway, this is just something I want to try for the remainder of this year. It might go really bad, it might not. It might be fun, it might be overwhelming, I'm not sure, but this is what my plan is, and I hope that you join me with at least one of these books throughout the year. And if you would be interested in having me figure out how to post the essays that I write, if you actually would want to read them, I do love writing, and I've written a lot over the years in different ways. So I would like to share that with you for people who are interested. I just don't know the best forum to do that on. I know Substack is pretty big. I know there's also people who use Patreon, but there's like Fable and Bindery and like all these different things that I actually don't know the difference or what each one does or what one's more popular or beneficial for community building. So if there is any interest in that, and if there's a somebody who knows more about any of that stuff than I do, please let me hear all of your thoughts. This is just something that's been going around in my head. So once again, I guess, thank you to Swift Busboy Maneuvers and Allison Talks Books for at least creating something that allowed me to come up with this idea, and I hope that you are okay with me taking some of that all in a different direction. So anyway, thank you. As always, happy reading, and have a great day.